Break out the banner and beat the drum because it's Boruto's birthday, and to top it all off, it looks like an old monster from the past has returned, and he's brought a few of his buddies with him. The next big arc in the Boruto series has officially begun. It's not going to be a straight adaptation of the Boruto movie arc. In fact, you could argue that we're not actually there quite yet. The preview for this episode threw a lot of people for a loop. They thought that there was going to be a big change to the story of Boruto the movie. In that film, we get to see that it's Himawari's birthday, and spoiler warning, Naruto does not show up for the birthday. In this episode, it's Boruto's birthday, and I thought that maybe, and a lot of the other commenters and viewers figured that they were going to switch things around to make this a little more personal for Boruto with his father not showing up. No, this is simply all a precursor to that story which takes place in the movie, and honestly, I love the changes that they are going with here. That being said, this actual episode right here was very simple. Not that much happened. Really, we get this whole subplot about Boruto and his birthday and his father not showing up, and of course, Boruto being incredibly disappointed by this and putting up a big front, saying that he's not really concerned about that. He's more upset over the fact that since his birthday was missed, it looks like Naruto might actually end up skipping on Himawari's birthday, which is just around the corner, which is going to be the beginning of the next major arc of the series. However, there are bigger things going on in the Naruto world, and this is the type of thing we all need to start paying attention to, as we get to learn that a lot of the ninja of Konoha Village have been going around the world, and they've been finding these hidden ruins and shrines which were dedicated to Kaguya Otsutsuki. That's right. And apparently, there is a connection to this one entrance in this cave, which has some sort of monster inside of it, which could have some sort of connection to Kaguya. And there are actually these thieves in this story which are going around through these caves, and they get attacked by this creature, a creature they refer to as a white monster. Now, anybody who's a fan of the Naruto series is going to immediately be able to put the connection here. Kaguya Otsutsuki, white creatures. It's probably going to be white Zetsu. There are going to be remnants of his character, or at least his consciousness, still alive in the Naruto world, a whole decade and more after the actual defeat of Kaguya, which is a pretty big freaking deal when you really think about it. Now, most of this episode is dedicated to Boruto and his birthday and him being very upset about his father not showing up. And I have to admit, a lot of these scenes were very effective. I also like that we finally got to see more of the families interacting with one another, like Hinata and Sakura, and seeing Sarada come over, and Mitsuki, who continues to be hilarious, especially when he's wearing a freaking party hat. I don't know what it was about that, but it was just really, really funny to me. And you get this great scene where Boruto sort of storms away from the party and goes up into his room. It's pitch black and dark, and he's just sort of ignoring everyone. And you can't see the reaction on his face, but you can truly hear it in his voice that he is just upset about all of this stuff. Naruto shows up incredibly late, of course, and leaves a gift for his son, but even he realizes that he kind of messed up in this situation. But being that he is the Hokage of the village, he has a duty to protect everyone in that village, as well as the welfare of the world, especially when it involves things such as Kaguya Otsutsuki. And at the end of the episode, he has a tense confrontation with his son, and Boruto basically gives him the ultimatum, look, you better show up to Himawari's birthday. If you don't, you're gonna be sorry. It was a nice, tender moment between the two characters, as Naruto did realize his fault and even patted his son on the head, much to the chagrin of Boruto himself. But that's when him, Sarada, Mitsuki, and Konohamaru go off on a mission, and they get involved with this whole evil monster situation. And they get to see these thieves, which are almost all completely wiped out, except for one who's giving his recollection of what actually happened. And when they go to investigate these caves, suddenly, of course, they are ambushed by a mysterious creature in the dark, which only has these glowing, reddish-pinkish eyes. And then by the end of the episode, Konohamaru realizes it. It's none other than White Zetsu, but not just a single White Zetsu. It's like an amalgamation of a couple of them, which have all sort of assimilated together into some sort of like massive Akira-esque monster, and it's still all shrouded in mystery and everything. We don't even know why it's here, why it exists, what its ultimate purpose is going to be, but it's really creepy, and it's a great villain from the past to finally bring back to test Boruto, Sarada, and Mitsuki's skills. And obviously, this is going to be a doorway to the next major arc of the series, series, which little by little is starting to build itself up. So, what's the rundown on this episode of Boruto Naruto Next Generations? I loved this episode. I thought it was a really good one. It's not necessarily the true beginning of the next arc, but it's getting there. I don't think we're going to get the real next arc until we get a brand new opening, which, let me just go ahead and say, is well overdue. I mean, why haven't we seen these yet? Why are we still seeing in the intro Naruto fighting against Kagura of the Hidden Mist? Like, why is this still happening? Let's just give us some new material. I don't even care if the song stays. The song is catchy as far as I'm concerned. I'm just ready for some new imagery. But they probably don't want to spoil anything. When we get this brand new intro, it is going to be filled with all sorts of new characters. Characters involved in the Chunin exams, not to mention some big villains. The first super massive major villains for the Boruto anime series. And I cannot wait to see all of that. Especially how they're doing such a great job of building into that. For people who've actually seen that movie or read the manga version, the clues are just constantly being thrown at you. And as a hardcore fan of the franchise, I'm just lapping up all of it. I also like how they're building up the relationship with Boruto and Professor Katasuke, because this is actually going to be very important, not only for the next arc, but for even the one that's after the next major arc. I really love that they're doing that. You get to see that Katasuke is also really important in acting almost as sort of a surrogate uncle, or maybe even a surrogate father of sorts to Boruto, reassuring him that he's made it this far because of his own power and his own will, not just because he is the son of Naruto. And while he's doing all of this, of course, he's working on a secret project, something that we've seen a couple of clues of in the anime series, and again, it's going to play a very big role in the next couple arcs of the series. They're doing a great job of planting all of these seeds, and I have to commend them for that. That, and just, like I said, there's something pleasant about seeing these characters interact with one another. I loved the whole birthday scene with Boruto and Sakura. You know, we don't get to see Sakura too often, so every single time she appears, it's actually kind of pleasant. And I love seeing more of the interactions of Sarada and Boruto as their relationship truly is starting to blossom. It's something that I really appreciate. I mean, she's even willing to put up with his idiocy and go hang out and have hamburgers with him. But towards the end of the episode, when he gets upset with his father not showing up, she's like actually one who goes up to console him personally. You can really see that she genuinely cares about him. It's a really great dynamic, and I'm really enjoying seeing that unfold on the screen. But once they immediately went to Boruto talking about Kage Otsutsuki and her shrines appearing and everything, just goosebumps started appearing. I do love that while Kage was not like my favorite villain of Naruto, they're actually making her seem really important by showing this lasting effect that she's actually had on the world. It's pretty frigging impressive. And Kaguya's influence on the actual Naruto story is about to have some massive repercussions as we go further into the story, and I can't wait to see it unfold. As far as production value goes, this was an okay-looking episode. Nothing too groundbreaking, nothing that's going to make you write home about anything, but it was at least a consistent, clean-looking episode. Nothing more, nothing less. But the actual story elements I thought were very strong, and I like how they're already changing some of the elements of the Boruto movie and also incorporating things into it that we never saw before. If anything, it's getting way more fleshed out. Will it have as good animation? Probably not. We'll just have to wait and see. But I'm anxious to see what they are going to give us. And like I said, stay tuned to the channel. I have almost completed my review of that Boruto movie, and I want to try and release it right as this new arc is beginning. That way we can get some good comparisons between the two. And if I had to say this, if you haven't seen the Boruto movie, I would wait to watch it after this arc. If only for the fact that I don't want you to get completely spoiled by a lot of the really cool story developments and some of the actions and even the introduction of some villains. But even they're going to go through some big changes in the anime version, so I can't wait to see how that's all going to go down. Really, I'm just very excited to be a fan of this franchise again, and whether it's the manga version of Boruto, the anime version, it completely has my attention, and I never thought in my wildest dreams that this series would live up to the heights of the original show, which itself was not perfect, but still a very important part of my love of anime and manga, so I'm really glad that it's carrying the torch and making it burn even brighter. So, Good episode. Definitely check it out. I'm giving this one right here a 4 out of 5. It wasn't a perfect episode. Most people probably will consider this an average 3 out of 5 episode. But I really love the way that things are developing here. And I love the smaller moments, and I love Zetsu returning, which is freaking crazy. Zetsu returning is a big deal. I mean, it's not going to be like the super smart Zetsu that we knew before. He's kind of like a mad dog type creature. But the fact that he's composed of multiple versions of himself, like, I can't wait to see the team fight against him in the next episode. And maybe we'll even get more teases to things that are going to happen later. As we all know, Kaguya was building an army to defend herself and her chakra against something. That something is going to be central very soon. So, there it is. That's my thoughts on the episode. I'd love to hear all of your thoughts. Tell me in the comments section below and what you hope to see from the next big episode of Boruto Naruto Next Generations. Yes, tell me all your thoughts there. I'll see you guys next time. And as always, stay damn there, baby.